What's going on, family? Just showing y'all how to, relax and look casual, right? You know what I'm saying? Just a little stun, just stunning y'all just a little bit. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, not a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Just stunning just a little bit, just a little something, right? Just a little bit. That's all, just a little bit. You know, and everything, right? So come hit y'all another quick video. And before we get into the topic, right? So I'm a dudes out here, right? I want you to understand. We out here in the world and you caught up in the mundane things like money, relationships, love, children. As you mature and get older, you kind of realize that these things aren't as important as you believed them to be, right? And one thing that you understand about women don't come pre-packaged ready, right? And when I mean that, right, is we'll start with scripture, right? For instance, in Ecclesiastes, right, it says that he looked. That I looked among 1,000 men and found one righteous. Among 1,000 men, I found one righteous. But I looked among all women and found not one. We go to Proverbs, right? You'll see how it explains, what the harlot is, right? That's the one who lies in the wait on the road waiting for you to come up and say, hey, my husband, the good man, is gone for the day. I've lined my bed with myrrh and frankincense and come and lay with me or whatever, right? It tells you what the harlot is. It tells you what to look out for. And also in Proverbs, it tells you what the virtuous woman is. You know what I'm saying? She's a woman to take care of the household. She has a side hustle, grows a vineyard or whatever. She is blessed in her home. You know what I'm saying? She wears fine silks and, material. It tells you in the book what to look for and what to look out for. If you need those actual scriptures, I'll post them in the link so that you read them yourself, right? But women, right? Let me tell you something about women. Women do not come pre-packaged ready. Why is that? Because 9 times out of 10, most women of today are growing up in single parent households with women, and they're being exposed to things that they shouldn't be exposed to and going through things that they should not have to go through in those households. Multiple men coming through, some, forms of abuse and things of nature. Not learning what the proper principles and practices is for a woman. And most importantly, whatever, how to have modesty. Also, right, you have children growing up in 2-parent households, right, where the daddy or the father is not instilling in his child, his daughter, how to present herself or how to act. How many times have you seen a father out at Walmart with his daughter? She's 13, 14, 15 years old. She got on booty cutter shorts. Irregardless of what her age is, and you shouldn't notice that, whatever. Of course you're going to notice that. It's like if a man walk around with pants purposely, whatever, to show his package or his bulge, you gonna see it with a man or woman because it's there to be shown. But what I'm saying is there's a father responsibility to teach his daughter what is appropriate and what is inappropriate, and to force her and make her and teach her act on that and live that way. Raise a child up in the right way, they will not depart. But they're not getting that. Even when there's a father in the home. In many cases, he's there, he may be working hard or whatever, but he's not putting into them the things that she needs because he don't even know what that is. Because there's no way my daughter will walk out with me with booty cutter shorts on or scanty clothes. There's no way. Because you're selling sex. No, you're putting a sexual energy on yourself. And so they end up growing up thinking like this kind of behavior is appropriate. This kind of dress is appropriate. And they have no modesty. That's why the Bible says in Timothy 2 that a woman's responsibility to what? Is not to preach, but to sit at home in silence and let her husband teach her. If you can teach her anything. So if you want a woman to be good, you have to be able to provide her with the tools and the resources and the safety and the protection for her to want to learn from you. But you have to be able to teach her something. What do you have to teach her? What do you have to offer her beyond what she already knows? What can you expose her to that's different? And you have to know the difference between those who are somewhat resistant to it versus those who are defiant to it. But there's a difference, because being indifferent to it, right, you can eventually come around. But when you're defiant to it and you're totally against it, she will never come around. She will fight you as long as she can, as long as she's with you, until you eventually go your own separate ways, or she drive you crazy. You know, because I'm like, why do I have to do that? Why do I do that? Why can't I be myself? Why are you always trying to change me? But she'll stay there with you for the benefits and whatever other enjoyment that she's getting out of you socially. And she can really like you, but she's just dysfunctional. So you have to be able to teach a woman something, and she has to be willing to learn what it is that you have to teach her. And to reject the social norms that she's grown up on and accept and take in new norms. So don't run with the manosphere red pill nonsense. That's only part of aspects of the truth. And women think abuse of men in many cases is being strong, because they don't know what strength is. So they look at men who are aggressive, who bash women all day, as being strong or whatever. A misconception. If you say that ain't true, listen. Right before Kevin Samuel took off into the stratosphere, right, I got wind of him, and I made videos right before he took off about how I felt about what he was saying about women, right? He was averaging anywhere from 2,500 to 4,000 viewers on the live stream. That was a good night, 4,000 viewers. But when he disrespected that young black lady who had a dog grooming business or whatever, he shot into the stratosphere. It went from 4,000, 10,000, 10,000, 15,000, 15,000 to 20,000. I saw it happen. We disrespected that young black woman who I did a video about, whatever. That's when he shot off. You had women agreeing with what he said about her. And she said she didn't want to date men in a lower income bracket because she had made six figures. Not because necessarily that she didn't necessarily like them, but because they always were trying to invest in her business. Trying to steal from her. Really. And she didn't want that. She wanted you to go, she wanted them to do their own thing, whatever, and be in a relationship. He told her that having a dog business that makes six figures, you were lucky. But it's not rocket science. You know, you should settle for a man in that income bracket. And I totally disagree with that. I still disagree with that. Because for anyone to take a dog grooming business and turn it into a six-figure income is genius. She ain't at Walmart at the door saying, "How you doing today? Let me see your receipt." She ain't at McDonald's saying, "How can I help you?" You know, so you want a large order of fries, let me put salt on that for you. She turns a basic business into a six-figure income, and everybody can't do that. But night after night, you have women go up there seeking validation from a man who's mediocre looking at best, and who has just recently become into a large sum of income based off of what his YouTube streams and videos and consultations are doing. He just come into this wealth. He's new money. Even though he presents himself as an authority on what he's speaking of, which is masterfully done, beautifully marketed. Let's keep it real though. You know. And so yeah, man, just wanted to touch on that. You know. But with this video, right? In my videos, man, I got so many videos, man, they should be off the charts. You know, I did a video about GE when it was at about $7, right? So look, man, you put some money into GE, right? It's gonna go back up at least about $13, $14. Within a few months, it did that. Now, of course, you know what I'm saying, investing is always risky, but when you look at this depressed stocks, like in the book, the Warren Buffett way, you look at depressed stocks or whatever, who you know has a higher market value than that, you invest in that. You know, you could have took and bought 100 shares for about $700 something or whatever, right? And flipped it into $1,400. Or you could have took and bought 50 shares for half of that and flipped it into $700. And gracious knows if you had like, you know, if you could have bought like 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares, and then within a few months, when GE stock went from 7 back to about 13, 14, $15, you could have doubled your money within a few months. And those kind of things that I did a video about. I had some money tied into that, and I made some money off of that. And then we started talking about doing a reverse stock split for 8-1, meaning like they're going to take 8 shares and make it into one to raise the price. I got out. You know, and I'm not giving you stock advice. I'm telling you what to look for, right? I'm sitting on Dogecoin. Now, Dogecoin is a little bit different because it really has no intrinsic value. See what I'm saying? It's speculative, right? But in the day that we live in, something that really has no value can really shoot through the roof at any given moment. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. These platforms don't provide a service, and they don't provide a product. They're just communication channels where people go on, and advertisers pay to put their products on those platforms. And then they took the companies public and became filthy rich. You know, but really, you know, Bitcoin, you know, Dogecoin, you know, Shinu Ibu, whatever, all that messes, whatever, right? These things really have no intrinsic value, right? Other than the fact that these may be the currencies of the future. It may not, you know. So my thing is like me getting wise low, and if it hit, it hit. I got in at 33 cents. It's now 24 cents. You know, but what I put in, I ain't gonna stress it whether I lose it or not. But if it hit, I'm gonna be nice. You know. I got a video about woman's nature, 1, 2, and 3. Break it down perfectly. You know, I talk about automation, how it's taking over the world with self-driving cars, self-driving planes, you know, retail stores or whatever. Where you can go in and swipe your card or whatever, walk out. There's no cashiers at all. These are the things that's coming in the future that if you don't prep for, you can be out in the cold. Because America was once built and still built largely on human capital, human resources. You're a capital. You are something that's used and resourced to accomplish a goal. I'm trying to educate you. And once they don't need that resource any longer, and automation takes over, and they only need a handful of people to work the automation, repair the automation, then what do? We don't have to offer you health care. We don't have to take care of you. We have robots, so I'm going to take care of us now. We don't need you to fix our food, clean our toilets, sweep and mop our floors. Our robot is doing it. You know what I mean? I'll give you the game, family. And within the next 5-10 years, we're going to be either there or close to almost being there. Truck drivers make good money. What are you going to do when they start automating and having all these self-driving trucks? What are you going to do? We'll be prepping now for the future. You know, they're trying, you know, money, paper money, currency is the second most used form of payment. Debit cards is now the first. Bitcoin may push it down, or cryptocurrency may push it down even further, right? I don't want to see that happen. And they tell you that, you know, the electronic wallets that's all over the place to hold these ledgers, and listen, nothing is infallible.
anything that's protected or supposed to be secure, there's always somebody working to make it unsecure and unprotected, and to take advantage of it. You know, you have things such as running the banks. You have like in Greece with austerity, where you say you're gonna get a certain amount of money off the bank. See what I'm saying? If the economy hits a bump or fails or whatever, you know, if there's a power outage, if your debit card gets damaged, or they put a hold on your debit card, on your debit card, and if there's no such thing as cash, what do you do? Somebody puts a hold on your resources because they say you owe them something, whatever, right? What do you do in that case? Because paper money is gone. What do you do? And they're trying to sell us that. They're trying to sell us this through this pandemic and stuff like that. You know, everything is being contactless. Everything, hey, is going to the point where they don't want you to go out and do anything. They want you to order everything from home and stuff like that. And we're shutting down retail stores and everything. That's all these laws and policies and stuff like that. Because there's a plan in place. I don't have all the details of the plan. You know what I'm saying? God knows. I just see bits and pieces of what He allows me to see through His grace. He's always in control. You know, and what their plan is ain't what His plan is. Because nothing is infallible. No machine, no automation, no software, no computer program. Anything is fallible. You just gotta be smart enough to, hey, I still like paper money. I still like to put paper money in my pocket. I've talked to so many people, I don't carry cash. Okay, I worked at the bank. I talked to people who were stuck in the what is it called, the Mojave Desert. I've talked to people who have been stuck at the airport and cars weren't working, and the system was going through a update. A certain bank, we would go through an update every Saturday about 8, 9 o'clock. It would solve the system down. People call in. This is happening, that is happening. And we would read the script like we was a machine. We are currently going through an update. Please give us a call back within a few hours. And at that time, we'll be able to assist you, right? We did that all the way from 9 to 12 when we got off of work. With no intentions of the system coming back up until the next day. Real talk. You know, but this is why I say this, right? My advice would be, and this is just how I look at it, right? My advice would be you keep a third of your money in cash, in your sock, in your drawer, in your bedroom, at your grandmama's house, in the wall, buried in the ground in somebody's backyard. You know what I'm saying? You keep a third of your money in the bank. Because you got quick access to that if you need it, right? For emergency situations, right? People tell you don't keep the money in the bank, right? Because it's the money bank and all this stuff about fractional reserve. You know, they lend out more than what they have and stuff like that, which is true, but that's still stupid. For people to tell you not to keep some of your money in the bank, because they keep some of their money in the bank, right? And number one, the bank is where you really get access to everything you need in this world, right? So the more money that you have in the bank, the more access that you have to the benefits that they have to offer. Getting a car loan, a loan for a house, refinancing your home, getting a business loan, and what they call a deeper relationship, depending on how deep your relationship is with the bank. I mean, how much money you have with them, how many transactions that you do with them, whatever, is a level of interaction they would have to you, and more things that you would have open to your benefit. I've seen people have RVs, motorcycles, four-wheelers, those golf carts, boats, and you're looking like, man, how can they have all these nice and beautiful things? They're rich, and it's not. They have good credit and a great relationship with the bank. You know why? Because those are considered recreational vehicles. And with a recreational vehicle, you can get a 20-year loan. You can get an RV and be paying $200 a month. I seen them in my own eyes and blew my mind. You know, people with those four wheels, whatever, $200 payment. People with $50,000 credit card, no interest, 0.5% interest on the credit card. No interest for 2 years. I seen people go out here and get a boat, a RV, a four-wheeler, and because they have good credit, I mean, hey, now they go through your credit with the financial chrome. They take all your bills, credit card bills, those cars, those vehicles, everything that you have, and you have equity in your house. You can pay off all your bills with the refinancing your home. And because you have equity in it, meaning like you have the value of the home is worth more than what you own it. You can take all those bills that you have and put it into that and pay it off, tens of thousands of dollars. Now you start over with your mortgage, but everything that you have, your car, your personal cars, your recreational vehicles, your high balance credit cards, whatever, all that's paid off. But of course you have to have great credit. You can't have like late payments and things of that nature. We had one person going through a refinance, whatever, and that thing, they had like a late payment on a credit card like 2 years ago. And man, they were just as frantic. I gotta get this off my credit. This needs to be fixed. I'm going through a refinance. And they pulled this up. And so we were working frantically to help her with the situation to get it removed so that she can get that approved, because that could have held her back from getting everything done. And the reason why she was so frantic, because hey, she wanted to pay off all her debts and roll it back up into their house. That's why they said in 2008, right when the crash happened, that middle class people were using their homes as ATM machines. Some of y'all think y'all middle class making $20 and $30, $40, $50,000 and you're not. I got a video explaining about what is middle class. And this comes from a sociological perspective. As an individual, you gotta have at least a 6-figure income. If you're married with children, it goes up from there. You making $50,000, you're not middle class. $60,000, you're not middle class. 70, 80, you're approaching the threshold. And majority of people don't make above 50 grand a year. Most people are between 30 and 50. That's where both of the people are at. Real talk. And a third of your money you want to keep in investments. Mutual funds, stocks, bonds, riskier assets, whatever. If you understand those things, like currency trading, forex, derivatives, margins, Now these things that I don't really have time to really endeavor into, because you got to really spend time learning that and be on it every day. But there is money to be made in it. You have to have a good understanding of that in math or whatever, and companies, but keep a third of your money in investments, right? So you want a third in cash somewhere, a third in the bank to have quick access to, and develop a good relationship with your bank. Because it don't feel like nothing great. You go say, hey, I want to go get a car, and they already give you a check. Here you go, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. Go find you a vehicle. You go to the dealership, already got approved for a loan. I just need to see what car I want to get. Best place you can start with that at, and build that kind of relationship with, is a credit union. Real talk, man, and I hope y'all staying with me and learning something. These are things that people ain't gonna tell you. It's really the basic and mundane things that you build upon when you start layering and getting more complex with your, saving, investing, trading, etc. Because trust me, a lot of people that got a lot of money don't know these things. I talk to people who had a lot of money, dumb as a brick when it comes to banking and how their accounts work and things of that nature, but got a lot of money. So don't feel bad. A lot of them don't know. That's why they have financial investors and planners and things of that nature to handle those things for them. Provided that they don't get taken to the bank, We're dealing with these people. And then the third of your money, and you can work it however you want to work it, in investments. Things that's going to earn you more money. About those complex things, you look for depressed stocks, as Warren Buffett says, in this book, The Warren Buffett Way, a great read, right? You look for stocks that pay dividends. Kellogg's, Heinz 57, Walmart, But if you can get it while it's a depressed stock or whatever, you can get it on the low and cheap, that's great, because then you can buy a whole lot of shares. Whereas Walmart is like $140 a share. So it's gonna take you time to build up a noteworthy investment amount with them, right? You know what I'm saying? When you're working with minimum income, but you still can do fractional buying through places like Robinhood, right? And you'll still get, dividends from the companies that pay those dividends, right? On a quarterly, annually basis. Get you a side hustle. Sell shirts, go on YouTube, cut hair, cut grass, whatever. Make origamis, I don't care. Put a twist on it, do something different with it. That will bring you some additional income in. You never know what hustle that you can get that can turn into a business one day and may take off. Do you hear what I'm saying, family? Man, this is a long video. I try not to keep it too long, but I'm going in, man. These are nuggets of gold. Nuggets of gold, man. One thing about people, right? They pretend to be happier than what they are. A lot of times when people come into money, whatever issues and problems that they may have, follows them into that wealth. Why do you see all these rich people, actors, musicians, whatever, never happy, ended up on drugs, ended up in crazy houses, stuff like that, end up committing suicide? They have everything that they want. Anyone that they want, traveling places where they want to go. But money can't cure psychological illnesses or self-imposed depression or thoughts of yourself that are negative. It will only make it worse. It will give you access to the things that can harm you. Only thing money means is that you can pay your bills easier. But that's not a struggle that you have. It doesn't necessarily guarantee happiness. You have to be happy in the process of going into making money. Yeah, man, that's the nuggets I want to drop, man. You know what I'm saying? And as you try to save and invest and stuff like that, don't try to put aside more than what you know that you'll be able to hold, right? Because you'll pull it out and send you into a depression, and then you won't want to, try to save any longer. So you gotta trick your mind and stuff like that when you first investing, right? Say if you're doing $20 a week, right? From your paycheck, get paid bi-weekly. Put $10 in savings and $10 as emergency fund. And keep doing that. And keep doing that. And keep doing that, right? If you're doing 50, 30 to the emergency fund, 20 to your savings. When you get to about $500 for emergency fund or whatever, then you switch it. You go 20 to your emergency fund and 30 to your savings. Even though it's all one money, it's still a psychological effect, because if you need something, you got to have something done, your car work done or whatever, then you say, okay, I can pull this from my emergency fund. This is what I had that for. In my savings fund or whatever, I don't have to touch that. It's psychological. And so sometimes you got to work with your mind to make your mind work in a certain pattern. Because you couple it all together and you use some of whatever. Like, I might go ahead and spend some more since I done touched it. I might go on out here, have me a good time, or get what I need done, or, you know what I'm saying, because I went through this situation, go ahead and spend this, whatever, because of the fact that, hey, I had to touch it. I want some relief from what I just went through. So you have to work with your mind to get your mind to a certain kind of process, and to the point where, hey, you have enough to cover everything that you need. People say have about 3 months worth of savings, or 6 months worth of savings, whatever, in case of a situation. Baloney. You have to work your tail off to have at least a year worth of savings. Because if something happening, job, situation, whatever, it takes you at least 6 months to 8 months, in most cases, to find another place, another form of employment, if it's as good as what you had at first. I'm dropping gems, family. It ain't all complex, but it gems. You know what I'm saying? So I can continue going and talk about money and what it is. It's not what we think. You know what I'm saying? The only reason it has value because we believe that it has value. It's a form of trading. You know what I'm saying? It's a negotiable instrument. You know what I'm saying? You know, for services and goods, whatever. So that when you buy these services and goods for other people, they can go and, you know what I'm saying, buy other good services for other people, whatever, and continue to circle through the system. That's why I call it currency. Like water or electricity have to keep traveling and flowing. That's why we're a detonation. Because in order to keep the system going, they have to keep being created, keep money circulating. You know, that's why it's on the credit score, right? I can keep going, man. Ain't no such thing as good credit or bad credit. Those are not correct terms. It's, you know what I'm saying, whether you're a worthy credit risk or an unworthy credit risk or a high credit risk. See what I'm saying? It's not good credit versus bad credit. That's what people say, but it's called a worthy credit risk. Because anytime a bank, an institution, or whatever is loaning someone, a business entity money, it is a risk that they may not get it back. But you have some people who have a track record of paying their debts, and they are a worthy credit risk. Whereas if you don't pay your bills, stuff like that, you are unworthy or high credit risk. So therefore, they're going to charge you more to get something from them. And some things you won't be within your reach. Dropping jewels, family. Hope y'all still listen to this. And if you say, well, that's just terminology, it's still the same thing. It's not. Because you understand that everyone that gets some kind of loan or whatever is a risk. Some are just worthy, some are unworthy. So you have to look at what do I need to do to become a worthy credit risk so I can open up the door to the things that I want to get and enjoy for myself. And be able to manage it well. All right. I gave y'all enough gems for tonight, right? So listen, if you're still with me, I don't know how long this thing been going for, right? So if you are still with me, right, my next video, right, we talk about the conscious community, right, and what is really the foundation of that, from my perspective, and how I was brought into it, and what I learned from it, outside of what you see on YouTube. See what I'm saying? Because this stuff that's going on now, man, is a discredit and a disservice to what it's supposed to be. And the majority of people that you're watching